11 games are down from the Kansas Class 3A State Baseball Tournament. 1 to go, and it is for all the marbles as the 23-2 Frontenac Raiders get set to square off against the Wellsville Eagles. The Class 3A State Championship game from Tointon Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. Good evening, everybody. Dallas Ackerman with you, and glad you could join us for State Championship Baseball from Manhattan. And what a game we expect as we have the number 7 seed, Wellsville, who bring in a 19-6 overall record. They will take on the number 4 seed, 23-2 Frontenac Raiders. These two teams have advanced in interesting fashion. First, Frontenac, they came in yesterday and knocked off the defending state champion Silver Lake squad 5-2, and then quieted the bats of previously undefeated Humboldt by a score of 5-1 earlier this morning in a game we had for you. Meanwhile, Wellsville, they hung on in a slugfest to knock off 22-1 Thomas More Prep 9-7 last evening. And then earlier today, pretty impressive, an 8-2 win over Sacred Heart to run their record out to 19-2 on the year. And that's where we're at. One game to decide who is the state champion in Class 3A in Kansas in 2012. The higher seed is the home team, so that would be Frontenac. So Wellsville will come out, the visitors, and we'll run through their lineup for you. And they will lead off Shane Hillman, the second baseman. He'll be followed by Seamus Carney, the pitcher. Cole Gardner will bat third and play shortstop. Shane Picorni is the third baseman, bats cleanup. Nolan Rush is your center fielder, who bats fifth. Luke Myers in left, he bats sixth. Mitchell Huffman catches and bats seventh. Shelton Breitup is the right fielder, bats eighth, and Jacob Brown will be at first and bat ninth. And in the batter's box right now is Shane Hillman. And he finds himself down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll run through your Frontenac defense, the boys in black, the Raiders. Check swing. Believe he went around, but he's gonna reach base is Hillman. So a strikeout for pitcher Matt Stanley, but the ball gets away from catcher Brian Wade, and Hillman winds up down at first. The pitcher for Frontenac, Matt Stanley, he's a good one. He's their ace in the hole, and they've been able to keep him around until this championship game. Is a stolen base for Hillman as the throw was high and sent shortstop Brett McCary hard to the turf. And he's a little bit slow to get up. He took a hard fall, so early on we're going to have a player injured. And let's hope McCary is going to be all right. Head coach for Frontenac, Bill Sullivan, going to come out, take a look at his shortstop. You hate to see this early on in a championship game, that is for sure. McCary able to get up, going to put the lid back on and going to stay in the game. Frontenac defensively from third to first. They'll have Nick Zafuda at third. I mentioned Brett McCary at short. Ross Edge is the second baseman, and Blake Bardo over at first. Brian Wade, the catcher, from left to right in the outfield. Blake Vale out there in left. Bryce Burdette is in center, and Gus Brunetti is in right. Matt Stanley has a strikeout, but no outs officially, is the leadoff man Hillman able to reach base after the strikeout and pitch in the dirt. So Seamus Carney who is the counterpart to Stanley, bats second for Wellsville. There's a swing and a miss. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. This game has been anticipated all afternoon once we had this game set up.
Attaboy, way to jump out. Come on, Byron, be a wall now.
Kearney able to fight that last pitch off. Kind of rattled the guys over in that Frontenac dugout, in and around that dugout. And we'll have a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Hillman gets that lead off down at second base. They try to hold him on there. There's a late swing and a foul off the left side. Count a hold at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nice pitch.
Sure, Wellsville would love to build up that pitch count on Stanley. There's a shot up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. They'll wave Hillman home. Throw from center and safe. Getting under the tag is Hillman. Kearney will advance to second on the throw. So an RBI single for Seamus Kearney. And just like that, Wellsville wastes little time getting on the board. They lead it 1-0. Here's Cole Gardner, the shortstop. Well, Frontenac, just talking to some of their people, they felt really good being able to get into this championship game and have Stanley 100% ready to go. But not the best of starts. There's a chopper over the third baseman. It was off his glove. Kearney's going to advance 90 feet. He'll stop at third. Gardner will retreat to first. That'll be a base hit for the Wellsville shortstop, so the first 3 hitters reach. And Shane Picorni, the third baseman and cleanup hitter, will bat with runners at the corners. Golden opportunity for Wellsville to score some more runs as the runner heads down to second. Gardner, no throw. So there's 2 runners in scoring position now. Still nobody out. Stanley gonna work from the windup now. There's a big swing, no contact from Picorni. No balls, 2 strikes. Stanley could definitely use a strikeout or 2 right now. He gets one right there. Picorni down on strikes. That's officially Stanley's second strikeout, although that's the first out of the game. Here's Nolan Rush, the center fielder, slick fielding center fielder. He bats 5th. So Stanley gets a much needed strikeout. He could use another one. Stanley, good velocity. He just has good stuff. He's gonna need it right here. Early jam for him. Pitch stays a bit low. A run on 2 hits early on for the Eagles of Wellsville. And a 3-0 count. So Stanley in danger of walking the bases loaded here. Runners at second and third and a 3-0 count. That one right in there.
Don't look again. Let's go. Take care of it.
Still a hitter's count for Rush. There's a chopper towards second. This is going to get a run home and a bobble at second. Still able to get an out, though, as Ross Edge made it interesting, but throws out Rush. That is an RBI, though, for the center fielder, Rush, and it's 2-0 early on. Wellsville the lead. Wellsville also gets a runner moved up to third, that being Gardner. He's there with 2 out. Luke Meyer batting from the left side, takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Mitchell Huffman would bat next. He's on the on-deck circle. That one misses off the corner. Probably not the start that Stanley wanted, the Frontenac pitcher. There's a foul ball over our head, over the press box. Stanley ahead in the count. He can do a lot of things with a 1-2 count now. And the pitch. Just getting a piece of that one was Meyer. Count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Stanley gonna try to get his team into the dugout to bat for the first time. There's a good curve, and caught looking as Meyer. Stanley ends up striking out 3 in the first, but Wellsville plates 2 runs on 2 hits. They strand 2. We've played a half an inning. It's the Eagles 2 and the Raiders coming up to bat.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Wellsville strikes first blood in the first inning as it's the Eagles plating 2 on a couple of hits. Could have even been worse if Stanley hadn't had the strikeout pitch be at his advantage. And the Eagles off to a good start. Now we'll see Frontenac, see what the Raiders can do. We'll run through their lineup as Wellsville goes through their final warm-ups. They'll lead off with Bryce Burdett, the center fielder. Batting second, Brian Wade, he's the catcher. Brett McCary, shortstop, bats third, followed by Blake Vale, the left fielder, batting fourth. Batting fifth, the pitcher, Matt Stanley, be followed by Blake Bardo, the first baseman, hits sixth. Batting second, the second baseman, Ross Edge. Nick Zafuda, the third baseman, bats eighth, and Gus Brunetti plays right field and bats ninth for head coach Bill Sullivan. We'll run through the Wellsville defensive lineup in just a moment, as on the hill for the Eagles is Seamus Carney, wearing number 25, the left-hander. So it's Carney and Burdett, and we have a chopper to shortstop, up with it, gunning across, high throw from Gardner, and safe. We'll see how they score this. It may be an error on shortstop Cole Gardner, even though it was going to be a tough play, a play that he probably should have made. So we'll take another look. He fielded it cleanly, and if he throws it on the money, it's an out. And indeed, they're going to rule it an error, first of the game. So Brian Wade will bat with a runner on first. Foul ball off the right side, out of play. Wade was 0 for 3 in the Frontenac victory earlier this morning over Humboldt. Boy, that seems like a long time ago. There's a little looper toward right center field. That will fall in for a hit. Rounding second on his way to third is Burdett. And just like that, right back comes Frontenac. They have runners at the corners with nobody out. And here's Brett McCary coming up next. Good placement by Brian Wade. And good base running, heads up base running by Burdett. And we will have an early visit to the mound from catcher Mitchell Huffman. For Wellsville, defensively, they have Picorni at third base. Cole Gardner, who I mentioned earlier, is the shortstop. Shane Hillman at second. Jacob Brown over at first. Left fielder is Luke Meyer. Nolan Rush is in center. And Shelton Breitop is the right fielder. Carney the pitcher, while Huffman does the catching. Quick snap throw over to first, runner back. Brett McCary, 2 for 3 in the semifinal win earlier. The Frontenac shortstop. Pitch outside, runner moves up to second. That's Wade. So now all of a sudden the tying run is in scoring position. Second and third, nobody out in the first inning. Carney will work from the windup now and pitches outside. 2-0 the count. There's a pop-up right side. Gonna be a tough play. The right fielder charges hard, makes the catch, runner tags, throw to the plate. Did he hang on? He did! And the runner is out at home. Burdett is gunned down by right fielder Shelton Breitop. What a huge play for Wellsville. Talk about a turnaround to an inning. We'll take another look at it. It wasn't very deep, but Frontenac wanted to test the Wellsville right fielder, and they paid the price. And what a great job by Mitchell Huffman, the catcher, to block home plate. And that's an emphatic out call by the home plate ump. We're going to get a courtesy runner for Frontenac. Looks like it's going to be Austin Beckley who's going to go out to second and run, as he's now out there at second with 2 outs and no runs in. Boy, that was a huge sequence early on in this game. Blake Vale batting, the right-handed hitter. That pitch low. Huffman keeps it in front of him. Blake Vale, 0 for 2 earlier today in that game. Looking for his first hit on this Saturday. That one chopped foul. Boy, if Wellsville could sneak out of here with no runs allowed, that has to be a huge pick-me-up, but still a big batter to get, the cleanup hitter for Frontenac. There's a chopper over the mound. Second baseman Hillman throws to first, out. And indeed, Wellsville escapes with no runs scored. It looked like a promising inning for Frontenac, but they are held scoreless. We've played one. Wellsville 2, Frontenac nothing.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
Too tight.
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
We move to the second inning. This Wellsville group, led by Phil Pearson, head coach, has to feel really good at the start his team is off to after one inning of play. They lead 2-0, and in there batting and swinging away is Mitchell Huffman, the catcher. 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for Wellsville in the second. There's a little looper towards center field, finds an open hole and drops in for another hit. Mitchell Huffman with the third hit for the Eagles. It's a leadoff single. Shelton Brightup, the right fielder, will bat from the right side. Runner at first, nobody out. Brightup going to square and bunt, pops it up, and catch made by Brian Wade. So Brightup not going to be happy about that at bat as they look to try to advance a runner up to second base, and they fail at the attempt. And Jacob Brown will bat with that runner. Huffman still down at first base. Those are the type of plays in championship games that you really want to try to execute. There goes a runner. They're going to try to get him down to second. Throw down, and they got him. Great throw by Brian Wade, and Wade has the first two putouts here in the top of the second inning. I don't think Phil Pearson is real pleased. I don't know if he's not pleased with the call or he's not pleased with the steal attempt. I think it's the latter, as just like that, we have 2 outs. And maybe Matt Stanley, the Frontenac pitcher, is getting into a little bit of a groove. His defense has picked him up here. And he's coming into this second inning throwing strikes. Jacob Brown going to have to bat on Stanley's terms.
There you go.
Hangs in there and battles. Seen a lot of balls sprayed off out of play here in the early part of this game. Frontenac trying to put a goose egg on the board. There's a fly ball center field. Bryce Burdette camped under it, and the Eagles are turned away in the top of the second. They do get a hit, but no runs. Big play by Wade, the catcher, to gun down Mitchell Huffman. We have played an inning and a half. 2-0 Eagles.
Hey, where are you going? You can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm number 1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Make him come in your zone, guys. Go.
To the bottom of the second we go. Frontenac going to try to get the bats going a little bit here. They went quietly in the first. It would appear that Matt Stanley, the pitcher for Frontenac, who just so happens to be batting to lead off the second, maybe getting into a little bit of a groove. I think he's going to be tough to score on the rest of this one. So now it's just going to be up to Frontenac to get some runs across. Down 2-0. Stanley had a big rip at the first offering, and this time he's going to slash one into right field for an opposite field hit. Matt Stanley, leadoff single here in the second. Now Blake Bardo, the first baseman, will bat, and Stanley is going to have a runner come in, and going to be Ethan Powell, who we saw run quite a bit in the game this morning. Frontenac, coming into this game, had only allowed 3 runs total in their first 2 games, and that's against 2 pretty good teams, Silver Lake and Humboldt. They give up 2 runs to the Eagles in the first inning. Blake Bardo was 1 for 3 earlier in the semifinal. There's a bunt. Bunt is down. The sacrifice is going to be good. Bardo with the sacrifice bunt. That moves Powell up to second with just 1 out. Talk about execution in big games. The Raiders come up with it there. Something that Wellsville could not do in the last half inning.
Hey, 1 out now. See the ball.
Ross Edge, the 7th place hitter. First pitch swinging, fouls it off right side. Have to figure the game time temperature hovering at around 90. Pretty good breeze coming from right to left, as it has been all day. That breeze probably doesn't hurt anything, at least from a comfort level, from all involved down there with this turf on the field as well. There's a big swing, no contact, so Edge down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Seamus Carney gets the sign. There's a little looper towards center field. Coming in, and the ball is off of the glove of the center fielder, Rush. And diving headfirst into second is Edge. And Rush is beside himself out there in center field as the runner Powell able to move up to third. And that's going to be a error on the center fielder. Second error early on for Wellsville. Boy, and that is just a play that you would expect Rush to make every time. And now we're going to have a balk called on Carney. And that's going to plate the first run for Frontenac. And that will also move up Edge to third. Nick Zafuda batting with a chance to tie the game. That curve stays outside. Levels it up, 1 ball, 1 strike. I mentioned earlier, after Stanley gives up the 2 runs in the first, he has a great second inning, and you just have a feeling he's not going to give up a ton of runs here tonight. And now Frontenac already has 1 of those runs back, and they're threatening to get both of them back and get this game tied again, which is great news for them. Big rip, no contact. That's a huge strikeout for Kearney. Now the left-handed hitting Gus Brunetti. The right fielder will bat, and that runner down at third stands there with 2 outs now. And a lefty-lefty matchup. Brunetti 1 for 2 in that semifinal win earlier over Humboldt. Boy, the crowds for both teams in this game with every pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and that was a ball outside the zone. Brunetti not going to be pleased with that. As he kind of bails out Kearney, at least with that offering. He lays off that one. Count moves to 3-1. Ross Edge, the runner at third, representing the tying run. Ball 4. So Brunetti gonna scatter on down to first. And we'll go to the back to the top of the order with Bryce Burdett, who reached on an air to lead off the Frontenac first inning. Pitch stays out. Fastball. Kearney wants to get his Eagles back to the dugout. Gets a step closer by throwing a fastball down Broadway and evening this count up 1-1. It all started with the leadoff single to right from the pitcher Matt Stanley. Since then, Kearney has really labored through this second inning, although he's only given up 1 thus far. There's a big swing, no contact. So Burdett gonna have to scratch and claw his way to a successful at bat. 2-2 now. Kearney comes home. It stays a little inside, so we'll go full count. The runner at first, Brunetti, will be off with the pitch. And here it comes. Chopper towards short. Up with it, Gardner. Good throw to first this time, and Frontenac turned away. They do get a run. On a hit, throw in an error, a strikeout, a walk, 1 man left on base. 2 innings in the book. It's the Eagles 2 and the Raiders 1.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare young people in Kansas for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
To the third inning we go. It's going to be the top of the order for Wellsville, trying to get something going against Frontenac pitcher Matt Stanley. Shane Hillman, Seamus Carney, and Cole Gardner. These three caused some havoc for Stanley in the first inning. There's a pitch, a ball hit towards second, and quickly one down. Hillman was swinging at the first offering and grounds out to second. Seamus Carney gonna bat. He had an RBI hit in the first inning. You really sense now Frontenac, despite still being down a run, has momentum. Wellsville 2 in the first, while Frontenac scored 1 in the just completed second. And Stanley is throwing BBs right now. The 0-2 pitch. Trying to paint the corner and just missed the black. Off the plate again to even the count up 2-2. Boy, Stanley is really fun to watch on the mound. Such a smooth delivery. And there's a strikeout. That's the 4th K for Matt Stanley, and 2 up and 2 down for Wellsville. Here's Cole Gardner, who had a first inning single. That pitch low. Dug out of there by Wade. Wade's a good signal caller. So much of it all starts with the catcher position, and Brian Wade is a good one. There's a pop foul over our head, evening the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Chopper towards short. McCary up with it cleanly and throws out Gardner. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Stanley. We've played 2.5. It's Wellsville leading Frontenac 2-1.
Hey kids, this is Heavy D, Lord J. This one for all the refs out there.
The referee is there to keep things fair.
He's there to make the call. You may not like them all,
but when you're in the stands or even on the court,
remember, be a good sport.
Head coach Bill Sullivan of Frontenac going to try to manufacture a run here, see if he can't get this game tied and maybe get the lead. has to feel good at the way his pitcher, Matt Stanley's throwing the ball. It's just now trying to scratch out some runs against Kearney. He will have his 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up here in the home half of the third. Brian Wade, who already is 1 for 1 with a single. Kearney buries that thing in front of the plate by a few feet. That one misses a little low and inside. Frontenac trying to get their leadoff hitter on here. And they're a pitch away from doing that as the count now moves to 3-1. Good hitters due up here. McCary to follow, and then Blake Vale. And ball 4. I would have to think if you're a Wellsville fan, and this coaching staff especially, they're thinking that this is going to be a low run-scoring game. And right now you have the 2-1 lead. You do not want to give Stanley the lead with the ball in his hand. There's a shot toward right. That's a hit. And that's a golden opportunity. Well, I was about to say Wade might make a turn and head for third, but he's going to stay put at second. Still, Frontenac with their first 2 runners on base. And Blake Vale bats with runners at first and second, no one out. I just mentioned how Coach Sullivan might want to manufacture a run. Well, I was about to say, does he have his number 4 hitter sacrifice to try to move some guys up? Vale at least squared around and showed bunt there. He gets the bunt down. It's a really good one. Throw down to first, and dropping the ball down there is Jacob Brown, so everybody's safe. We'll see if they charge the Eagles with another error. They do. That is the game's 3rd error on Wellsville. So Vale reaches on the air, and now the bases are jammed, and Matt Stanley, the pitcher, can help himself out. So a young man that gives up 2 runs in the first, probably frustrated with that. Well, now all of a sudden a base hit, and he gives himself the lead. He goes fishing for a high fastball and comes up empty, and now he's way behind in the count, 0-2. Nobody out, bottom of the third. The Raiders have trailed throughout the early stages of this one, but that could all change here momentarily. There's a chopper towards short, coming up, losing it, and everybody's safe. Another error going to be charged to Cole Gardner. And that should be the 4th error on the Eagles. We'll have a courtesy runner as Ethan Powell going to check in. So Powell will go to first, and this has the makings to be a very, very big inning for Frontenac, as they still have the bases loaded and the game now tied. And that was a big rip from Bartow. Bases stuffed. I'm sure Wellsville would trade a double play for a run. A ball and a strike. The left-hander comes home. Pitch not even close. This is a huge little sequence coming up here in the next few minutes for Wellsville. There's a foul ball off the right side and out of play. 4 errors for the Eagles, and we have not played 3 innings. Actually, 2 innings officially. Nobody out here in the third for Frontenac. Another foul ball off to the right side. Bartow had a big sacrifice bunt in the second inning. That curveball stays low. And the count fills up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gotta figure Bardow's gonna get something to hit here. He gets it. Chops to short. Right through the wickets of Gardner, and this is going to plate 2 more Raiders. And that's another error, as that hop just ate up Gardner. And that's 3 consecutive batters that have reached on an error. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-2 Frontenac lead. As we take another look, you really hate to see this, especially in a championship game. A team that can normally be so fundamentally sound struggle the way they have. I do not think I see a error put on the board just yet. It should be the 5th error, but if you're gonna call a couple of those errors that were charged earlier on, that has to be an error. So Ross Edge will bat. It's a 4-2 Raider lead. First and second, still nobody out. Seamus Carney is having a rough inning, and he's not getting a lot of help behind him. Not many of these runs will end up being earned. That one catches the outside corner. There's a pop-up on the infield. That'll be an infield fly rule, so automatic out. Gardner makes the catch. Edge is the first out in the inning. Now Nick Zafuda. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. Just a little bit high. Zafuda thought about taking a swing, but laid off. There's a pop-up right side. This should be playable. Ball's going to carry back into fair territory, and a great job by Jacob Brown to come back and make a little bit of an acrobatic catch. So back-to-back pop-ups for outs, and Seamus Carney has a chance to get out of this with only 3 runs crossing home plate. Lefty versus lefty matchup here.
Have him come to you, buddy, and rip it.
Ball outside, so 2-0. Carney falls behind in this duel. Brunetti's already drawn a walk. Oh, and this one is going to hit in the back of Brunetti, and he'll take first. Boy, so Frontenac reaching base in about any way possible. Walks, errs, now hit batsman. And the bases are loaded up for the top of the order, Bryce Burdett. Burdette, the 9th batter to hit here in the 3rd inning. He takes a strike. It's essential that Kearney gets ahead in the count here. He has nowhere to put Burdette. There's a curveball chopped toward 3rd. Fielding it and stepping on the bag is Picorni. And Wellsville able to get out of it, but the Raiders plate 3 and they have the lead for the first time tonight. 4-2. Frontenac leads Wellsville, 3 innings in the book.
Keep pounding that zone.
In the fourth for Wellsville, Picorni, Rush, and Meyer.
Back here at Tointon Family Stadium on the campus of Kansas State University, the Class 3A state championship game. We now see Frontenac. The Raiders get the lead for the first time. And they hand the ball off to a good starting pitcher. And first pitch swinging, Picorni grounds out to McCary. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Nolan Rush, who was able to get an RBI on a ground out in the 1st inning. That 1st inning in which the Eagles were able to get 2 runs, but nothing since. There's a late swing at a pitch and a foul ball down the right field line. Stanley had a 1-2-3 3rd inning. As I've mentioned earlier on, he really seems to be getting stronger as this game moves along. There's another foul ball. This one gonna head into the bleachers or over the bleachers down near the bullpen area. Stanley is just pounding that strike zone right now. And a swing and a miss. Rush way behind on that offering. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Luke Meyer, who was one of now 4 strikeout victims of Stanley to end the 1st inning. And there's another cut, no contact. That one misses low and outside. Great tempo from Stanley. He is back on the rubber, ready to deal right after his previous pitch each and every time. Now, at least for the time being, falls behind a hitter, Meyer, 2-1. Now 3-1. Stanley is yet to walk a batter. He's in danger of it right here. Mitchell Huffman, the catcher, who had a single in the 2nd inning, would bat if Meyer can continue this inning. There's a high chopper towards 2nd. This would be a tough play for Edge. He fields, throws, and got him. Close play at first, but Wellsville is turned away in order. That's 6 in a row, actually 7 in a row, set down by Stanley. We've played 3.5 innings now. It's the Raiders of Frontenac leading 4-2.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
That'd be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
The task for Wellsville pitcher Seamus Carney is not an easy one, but he needs to do it, and that would be to keep Frontenac at bay. They know that the chore is going to be tough against Matt Stanley the rest of the way, and already down 2 runs, they cannot afford to give up any more. Be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Frontenac in this home half of the 4th inning. The ball that's going to fall in for a base hit down in the right near the right field corner. That'll be a leadoff single for Brian Wade. That is his 2nd hit to right field. He's 2 for 2. Gonna bring up Brett McCary. Now, if you're on the Raiders side of things, you might be thinking, hey, let's scratch out another run or 2 and have to feel really good about it. I have a throw over to first. Runner dives back. Wade. McCary flew out to right and singled to right. He's 1 for 2 tonight. That pitch misses the mark wide. Glad you could join us for the Class 3A Kansas State Baseball Championship game. Dallas Ackerman with you, along with our KSHSAA crew. There's a shot through the box and on into center field for a hit. McCary with his 2nd hit of the early going. And that's back-to-back singles, and Frontenac keeps the pressure on. Look out. Protect the ankles, Mr. Carney.
Hey, be patient. Look for your pitch.
Frontenac's getting some pretty good swings at Carney right now. And here's the cleanup hitter, Blake Vale. And he's going to lay down a bunt. It's a dandy. Almost like a drag bunt that has to be gobbled up by Gardner, who was originally covering 2nd. So your number 4 hitter lays down a dandy bunt, and now you have bases loaded, nobody out. And here's Matt Stanley, the pitcher. He can blow a gap into this one with an extra base hit. The swing, no contact, and you may want to take notice of Wellsville as they are now bringing their infield in. They know that they cannot afford to give up any more runs against this young man batting out on the mound. There's a chopper foul. Stanley had a single in the 2nd inning. He also reached on an error in the 3rd inning. That was a 3-run Raider inning. Pitch in the dirt. Good block by Huffman to keep the runner Wade down at 3rd base. Sacks are loaded here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carney comes home. Just missed. Blake Bardo is waiting patiently on deck. Another ball chopped foul near the on-deck circle of Frontenac. Beautiful evening it's turned out to be now. This is summer baseball at its finest, the Memorial Day weekend. There's a ball that gets away, and this will plate another run. Sliding in safely is Brian Wade. And the other two runners move up to third and second base respectively. Now this count has gone full. So it's now 5-2, Frontenac the lead. And ball four, so Stanley comes all the way back to draw a walk. And Seamus Carney is laboring a bit here in the fourth inning. Ethan Powell going to come down and run for Stanley. Here's Blake Bardo. Boy, you got to figure he's going to get a pitch or two to hit right here with nowhere to put him. Carney going to work from the windup. There's a chopper back to the mound. Carney comes home for one. Throw down to first, and it gets away and goes all the way down the right field line. There's a run scores. Here comes another run coming in to score. And Frontenac has indeed put a pretty good gap in this one. That's going to be a costly error by the Eagles. I guess that will officially go down as their fifth. They could have easily been charged with 6 errors in this game. This is a throwing error charged on catcher Mitchell Huffman. They got the force at home, which is good, but that's when it went south right there. 7-2 as Bardo winds up down at second. Now a pitch gets away, goes back to the net. Ross Edge batting.
Hey, there he is, Russ. Go, come on. Hey, bring him to the plate.
One away here in the bottom of the fourth. There's a line drive into left field. Boy, Edge smoked that one. And Bardo scores. And it's now 8-2, a 4-run fourth inning. And I think that may just do it for Seamus Carney. Here comes Phil Pearson, and Carney's championship game appearance on the mound has come to an end. He will depart. It's 8-2, but Carney saw many a miscues behind him in the field. We'll see who Wellsville goes to. Looks like they're going to bring into the game Nolan Rush, who began the game as the center fielder. Rush is gonna spell Carney on the mound, and I think Carney is gonna grab his outfield glove and head on out to center field. A little bit earlier on, to recap, it was Humboldt knocking off Salina Sacred Heart. Actually, 10-run ruled them in 5 innings, 13-3. So Humboldt, they finished the year 25-1. They came into this weekend as the top seed. Frontenac, if you're wondering. They came into the weekend the number 4 seed. They dispatched of the number 5 seed Silver Lake and then took down the top seed Humboldt Cubs. It's really looking more and more like it's going to be Frontenac who rolls to this state championship, although still a lot of baseball left, but we're moving toward the late innings. And if the Raiders keep this up, they're going to start to think about 10-run ruling their opponents in this championship game. That is not what Wellsville would want to have happen to them, that is for sure. But there is just one out, and we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nick Zafuda going to come in and face Nolan Rush for the first time. Zafuda is 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout and a pop out. Whoa, and Rush throws behind Zafuda. And Zafuda doesn't know what just happened there. He kind of has a smile on his face. And the next pitch misses. Zafuda had 3 strikeouts at the plate this morning, trying to make up for it here. And 3 wild ones from Nolan Rush, and it's 3-0. Not even close with that one. So now runners at first and second with just 1 out, and the number 9 hitter, Gus Brunetti, will bat. And Frontenac just about to bat around for a 2nd straight inning. That one misses. So 5 pitches, 5 balls for Nolan Rush. There's a strike. There's a ball fouled off at home plate, back into the net. So Rush able to come back and throw a couple of strikes after throwing 5 balls. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brunetti. Now 2-2. And the swing and a miss. So Brunetti down on strikes for the inning's 2nd out, and here comes the 9th batter of the inning for Frontenac, Bryce Burdett. Misses a little low. You have to start to wonder if the Wellsville pitching staff is just about gassed. Ball misses, 2-0. Now you're getting to a point where you're starting to get into the latter part of your 3rd game in 2 days. And these aren't the size of school that has the luxury to have a pitching staff of 5 or 6 deep of pitchers, and he's trying to get one across as Rush and throws ball 4, so Burdett reaches for the 2nd time tonight. And they're going to be loaded up for Brian Wade, who started this whole mess. At least for Wellsville, it's a mess. He singled to right. He led this inning off. That's been probably 20, 25 minutes ago. Big swing, no contact. Couple of hits for Wade. He's already been on base 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. There's a little looper into center. That's going to fall for a hit, and that should plate two. It does. Two more runners score, and it's a 10-2 game. As we take another look, Frontenac is getting all the breaks. I mean, even the balls not hit hard or finding open holes. There's a strike to Brett McCary. 6 runs plated here in the 4th inning. 10 runs total on 9 hits. There's a fly ball center field. Camping under that, making the catch is Seamus Carney, but that's a huge inning for Frontenac. 6 runs. They lead it 10-2 after 4. We'll take a break and return for your 5th inning in just a moment.
Hey, stay focused now. Good D, good D.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
As we welcome you back to KSU, my oh my, how things can change. After 1 inning, it was 2-0 Wellsville. Since then, Frontenac has reeled off 10 unanswered runs, and as we open up the top of the 5th inning, Frontenac leads 10-2. And Matt Stanley, you would think, has all the runs he needs now. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 due up for Wellsville here as Mitchell Huffman bats, and he is buried in a hole. It's 0-2. Stanley now can just reach back and let it fly. And there's a strikeout. Huffman faces the Stanley gas and 1 away. Huffman came into that with one of the 3 hits for the Eagles. No such luck there, and here's Shelton Breita. And you really do have to think now Frontenac may be entertaining thoughts of plating a couple runs in this next inning and wrapping up a 10-run rule victory in the championship, as there's a pop out to first. 2 up, 2 down. And this could be the 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning for Stanley if he would record an out with Jacob Brown. There's a chopper up the middle. Ross Edge fields and throws out Brown. Indeed, a quick 1-2-3 inning for Matt Stanley. We move to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Raiders well in control, leading this one 10-2.
Boom! Hey, where are you going? Can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am a king!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Hey, get the ball in your zone. Let it get there and drive it. Come on, B.
Frontenac well in control, leading 10-2, and they have their 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up against Nolan Rush. Blake Vale leads off. He has a hit, also reached on an error. Rush has had trouble throwing strikes, and now Wellsville is up against the wall now. They can only allow one more run to keep playing here. If Frontenac would plate 2, that'd make it a 10-run game, and the rule is in Kansas, if you lead by 10 runs after 5 innings, game over. It's a 2-2 count on Blake Vale. Great weekend of baseball in Manhattan, Kansas, and the Class 3A state championships. That one misses low, and count's going to go full here. Matt Stanley will bat next, followed by Blake Bardo. Ever since the first inning was complete, it has been all Raiders. There's another walk. Matt Stanley will bat with a runner on first now. That one is in for a strike. Rush comes home. There's a foul ball off to the right side, and this one will reach the seats. No balls, 2 strikes.
Hey, shorten up and poke it now. Down below your hand.
Stanley, 1 for 1 officially. Ooh, and there's a pitch that drills Stanley, and he'll head on down to first. It's the second Raider that has been hit with a pitch. Now it's going to be first and second with nobody out, and here comes Ethan Powell coming into courtesy run for Stanley. Good to see Stanley okay as he goes to the bench. Gets a good ovation. And Blake Bartow will bat. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and now the winning run, Powell, is down at first base. We'll start to zone in on that, as much as Wellsville does not like to start thinking about that. And you start to wonder if Frontenac is thinking that as well, as they just had Bartow square around and bunt and try to move these runners into scoring position. And another foul ball on the bunt attempt. So Bartow cannot get the sacrifice complete. And it's no balls, 2 strikes, and Bartow going to have to swing away, one would think here. There's a fly ball center field. Coming in to make the catch is Carney. And there is one Raider retired. Bartow flies out to center. And Ross Edge will bat. He had a big RBI single last inning in his last at bat. Pitch low. Good stop by Huffman. That pitch high. Rush has had trouble finding the strike zone in his brief appearance into this game. There's a shot into left field. That's a base hit. They'll wave a man around third. Coming in to score, the 11th run is Blake Vale. Second hit of the game for Ross Edge. And now Frontenac is just one run away from winning the game. And Wellsville head coach Phil Pearson going to come out and talk to the home plate umpire. Not sure what this may be about. Now they think they're going to maybe make a defensive replacement here. Maybe they're going to try to get a player into the game here late. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And they're actually going to get William Qualls into the game, and he's a senior, so that really does make sense. As Coach Pearson may be sensing that this game could be ending here in a bit, and he wants to get Qualls into the game for some state tournament championship game action. So have to take your hat off to Coach Pearson for that. Pitch in there for a strike to Zafuda. That pitch high. Now 11 unanswered runs for Frontenac. That pitch, late call strike. 1-2. The crowd not pleased with it, at least the Frontenac crowd. So now Zafuda gonna have to battle. And he chops one towards short. Up with it, they get one at first, and that's all. So Gardner flips to Hillman for the force out, and the winning run is now just 90 feet away. Gus Brunetti could end it right here. Of course, a wild pitch, anything to score that runner from third. Ethan Powell would give Frontenac a state baseball championship. A little bit outside. Now if Wellsville could get out of this, they would extend the game into the 6th inning. And that's a hit. Base hit to right field, and this game is over. Frontenac wins it in a game-shortened 12-2 fashion. It was 2-0 Wellsville after one inning of play, and it is 12 unanswered for the Frontenac Raiders. Congratulations to head coach Bill Sullivan and this young group of Raiders. They come into the weekend as the number 4 seed, and they leave the weekend the state champions of Kansas Class 3A. 24-2 final record, a complete team effort. 3 impressive victories for these Raiders this weekend in Manhattan. So again, the final score, Frontenac 12, Wellsville 2. A happy group of folks that have made the long trip from the southeastern side of the state of Kansas, down near Pittsburgh. They have a state championship, and they are going to have a happy 4 to 5 hour trip back to Frontenac with the big trophy on their bus. Want to thank our entire crew this weekend. Enjoyed working with this bunch here on this Saturday morning into the afternoon and now finally of an evening as we've witnessed Frontenac win the state championship. My name is Dallas Ackerman. We say so long from Tointon Family Stadium in Manhattan. Have a great remainder of your holiday weekend, everybody.
Champions, the Frontenac Breeders.